Exports of crucial electronics for Russian military technology have returned to pre-war levels. This is the conclusion reached by the U.S. State Department. According to U.S. officials, Moscow has recently stepped up efforts to circumvent sanctions.
Well, what are the ways around sanctions? The most difficult, so to say, is the work of special services. For instance, GRU or the FSB. They are honed for exactly this kind of operation. Among others, it is illegal acquisition of certain components, arrangement of their supplies. This is actually legalized smuggling.
The Guardian, referring to Ukrainian officials, says that Russia plans to produce 1,061 long-range missiles this year, which is more than twice as many as in 2022. Such dynamics indicate that Russia is adapting to Western sanctions, analysts say.
They create one-day companies. 1,000 one-day companies are being set up to buy non-military goods through them. Obviously, military goods are much harder to buy, because there is a very serious export control on them. Dual-use goods are also very seriously controlled. But as for ordinary household goods, they are easy to get. It is very easy to bring chips, for example. You can literally buy them in packs.
Russia uses companies not formally involved in the defense industry to circumvent sanctions. They buy consumers' electronics in the West as for themselves and then resell them in the Russian Federation. For example, according to Ukrainian intelligence, in 2022, Russia received allegedly domestic chips worth about $3 billion.
It is a much more complicated thing to track. There are so many options and variations, like washing machines and basically any other household appliances. They are not traceable the same way as dual-use goods. So the only way is to shoot down their missiles, take them apart and see what components are used in them. Then contact the manufacturer. Look for these circumvention channels.
Electronic components for missiles enter Russia mainly through third countries. Most of them come from China, which accounts for about 80% of shipments. In the second place, with a share of 5.5%, is Thailand. Also in the top spot are Turkey, Maldives, the United Arab Emirates and Kazakhstan, according to The Guardian. All of these countries have not imposed sanctions on key players in the Russian military industry.
Diplomacy works very well in the former Soviet Union countries. For example, Secretary Blinken went to Armenia, to Kazakhstan, and literally immediately there was information that Kazakhstan is willing to stick to sanctions, will not circumvent, and start cutting off Russia's ability to supply these goods. It is not enough to just ban crossing the road at a red traffic light. We need to introduce responsibility for it, and we need to punish it, and punish it constantly, so that it won't be a recurrent problem.
And the work is underway. On June the 21st, the EU permanent representatives agreed on a new 11th sanction package, which is aimed specifically at combating the circumvention of restrictions. First and foremost, it concerns Russia's ability to obtain banned technologies through third countries. President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said.
I welcome the political agreement on our 11th sanctions package. It will deal a further blow to Putin's war machine with tightened export restrictions targeting entities supporting the Kremlin. Our anti-circumvention tool will prevent Russia from getting its hands on sanctioned goods. Ursula von der Leyen, president of the European Commission, on Twitter.
According to analysts, to stop the Kremlin's war machine completely, all efforts of the anti-Putin coalition should be aimed at depriving Russia of the ability to pay for grey schemes, imposing a full trade embargo and strikes on the banking and financial sector of the economy. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Vasyl Panasyuk, UATV News.